How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. And I just want to give my quick thoughts on the new Marvel series Wonder Man. I just finished binging all 8 episodes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As I said in my reaction to the trailer, I didn't really know much about Wonder Man. I knew him from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes and like 1 or 2 comics that I've read, but I've never really dived into the character of Simon Williams. So I'm glad we have the latest in the Marvel Spotlight shows, as they're calling them now. I think it's a great way to introduce the general public to more or less known characters. And the story pretty much follows Simon trying to get the lead role of the Wonder Man remake because he loved the movie as a kid, because his dad took him to go see it. And he ends up befriending Trevor Slattery. He used to be the Mandarin, or the actor being the Mandarin. But secretly, Trevor's working for the Department of Damage Control, who's been in the MCU for a little while now. And they even have back the one bearded asshole from Spider-Man No Way Home. He's in this too. And he's kind of like feeding them information because they consider Simon to be a huge threat. I will give a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it, short forms, go watch it. The whole Simon having powers, it's never explained where he gets them from. The implication is that he's a mutant, I believe, because he's had them at least since he was a child. And they mention a couple times there was this fire in his house, and when he was taken to a doctor, he was completely fine. He wasn't coughing, he didn't have any burns or anything like that. I don't know if that's the same way as in the comics for his backstory, but I found that interesting. And maybe if they did a second season, maybe they would explore more about his powers, because he doesn't use them too much in the show, but that's not the point of the show either, right? It's a character-centric story. The powers are just kind of a byproduct of that. He only uses powers like a handful of times throughout the thing. I only use them in like one fight scene too that I can think of, when him and Trevor are getting cornered by these guys that like Trevor owes money from his like addict days. Like Simon ends up fighting him off. Like the two biggest moments of him using his powers is after he finds out that yes, Trevor's been spying on him. He goes inside the building on one of the movie sets and kind of lets a huge burst and explodes it. And then I like that Trevor takes credit for it, doing that as the Mandarin. Like he puts on the costume again and he films a video. And then he ends up taking the fall as a way to like apologize to Simon for what he did. And then at the end, after Simon's now a big star now, he's now Wonder Man. The movie came out and people really loved it. I wasn't sure where it was going because his agent was like, okay, what do you want to do now? And then he just kind of smiles, and then it cuts to sometime later, and he's talking to some guy in a bar, and he says like, oh, I'm researching a role, so, I'm going to, study your habits and stuff and where you work and all this stuff. And he's being very secretive of what the movie is. And you kind of start figuring it out, and as soon as revealed, this guy works at the prison that the Department of Damage Control is trying to send Simon to, where it would end up being where Trevor was sent. It's like a new high security prison. I assumed it would basically be for enhanced individuals, not regular people, but I guess they figured since the Mandarin technically broke out before, they need to put him in a supermax prison. So yeah, so Simon, comes in, and then he uses powers and they fly out. And that's kind of where the show ends. Kind of ends on a cliffhanger a little bit. The whole series as a whole is really good. If I had to pick my favorite episode, it'd probably be episode 4, and this one's called Doorman. And the whole thing is filmed in black and white. It's a whole flashback, just kind of like documentary about this guy who just used to be a bouncer at a club, but then he ends up becoming some kind of weird chemical because of the Roxxon Corporation. They've been in Marvel for a while. And he basically gets the powers of a door, like people can go through him and he can go through doors. And he ends up becoming a big star. And he even ends up in a movie with a big actor whose name I forget, something Gab, Josh Gab or something like that. And he gets like the mask he has in the comic, which was a really nice reference. But then after that, he kind of starts losing his career. He's only really appearing in advertisements. He's not really a big star. But then they're gonna film a sequel to the movie that was his big break. And then on set, Josh Gad goes in him for the scene because they want to do it for real instead of using CGI. and he hasn't come out, and he goes missing. So I guess in the MCU, Josh Gad just disappeared, and then that's why Hollywood and this universe kind of banned people with superpowers from being in it, which is understandable. Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the show. I liked it. I also liked his Wonder Man costume. He only wears it in the very last episode, and it's only for pretty much the one scene. But I liked how it looked. It had the big, W on the chest and stuff, and he had the iconic glasses. So I think the outfit he wears during the premiere of the movie, like the red jacket and the shades, I think that's actually a look he has in the comics. So that was a nice reference. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. So, what'd you think of Wonder Man? Let me in the comments below, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out. And yeah, have a great day. See ya.